Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. This will be with our Cobra water mixable oil paints again, and it will be a 16 by 20 canvas, and it will be a landscape with water, and other than that I have no idea. So, get organized here. Okay, so we got our 1.5 inch brush out here, and we've got our water mixable oil painting medium. I'm gonna go with a little bit of Payne's Gray, French Ultramarine today. A little dark color today. Usually I'd use green, Viridian, sap green, whatever I have laying around. For some reason I just decided to go dark today. I don't actually have a dark green on my palette today for some reason. I just decided why. Oh yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Not sure what else I'm gonna do with it, but I like it. Yeah, I know, this looks like I'm doing everything in black. You don't even see the blue, and you're right. But if Ansel Adams can be famous for his entire life and generation doing nothing but black and white, why not me, right? Okay. I know my compositions look very similar, and that's for a reason. I like them. I do other stuff too, but the landscape, I always like having the water, the river, stream, pond, whatever, trees, mountain. This one I'm not gonna have a mountain. This one's just gonna be like in a forest maybe. I don't know why, I'm just not doing a mountain today. I'm gonna have it bend back here and then go there. Maybe I'll have a few rocks here to make up for no mountain, something like that, I don't know. But one of the things that I learned a long time ago, it was good and bad, but I think it overall was good and it helped me. When I first started painting, not just oil painting, but when I went from watercolor to acrylics, this is a very long time ago, I would do the same composition over and over again. I mean, I would do it over and over again. And it was simplistic, it wasn't complicated, and it taught me how to do things, okay? That's kind of what I'm doing with my videos. Now, yeah, I do throw something else in there, which I have to, just so you guys don't get bored. But for the most part, I got a similar composition because I want you to keep using it and practicing the same one. Once you get that one landscape down with the river, the water, the rocks, whatever the case may be, once you get that, you can do any composition you want, whether it's a photograph you see, maybe you're fortunate enough to live in the mountains out west and you have it coming out your door, whatever the case may be, once you perfect the basic, you can go as technical as you want and it won't even be an issue. So that's kind of why, if it looks like I'm doing the same composition, it's not identical, but it's very similar, and that's why. Now, the other thing I want to show you too today, and the reason why I don't have my green on the my normal green, I have like a yellow green that I'm not going to use for this part. That'll be some highlights later. I want to show you what you can do with some other colors. Remember, this is the sketch-in. Okay, this doesn't mean a damn thing to anybody other than you. Okay, nothing. Completely worthless, except to you. This is laying out what you do or do not like. This is making it so you have a way to go. Now, I like that. Why? I have no idea. That looks good. So, I'm gonna go with some more trees. Fill this whole thing up with trees. See the way I'm doing this? I hope my arm's not in the way. I got the medium. I've got, believe it or not, there is French Ultramarine in here, and then Ivory Black. And I'm taking it by the side of the brush, okay? See how I'm laying it flat? And I'm just making these like tree shapes. That's all I'm doing. And the reason I like that is because it's very loose, but it's very defining. It really does show them well. Now, Lost the waterfall, but that's okay. Because we're going to put it right back in. So, get our paper towels out. Today is Sunday the 9th of June. I hope it's finding everybody well. And I hope that you're still painting, even though it's beautiful weather outside. Today we have like gale force winds. Sunny, low humidity, beautiful out, but wind to knock you over if you're not careful. But I hope you're practicing and getting good at painting, because I've said it before, we have too many pizza places, not enough artists. And for those of you that might be in the audience that have pizza places, trust me, I love pizza, but we still need more artists. Okay. My garbage bag is just about done. Okay. I wiped off my brush. It's got every black on it, so you don't even see it. It's got the thick stuff off. That's all I care about. And you can't see it, but I defined where my actual waterfall will be. And basically, like I said, it's going to come right out of the forest. But it's going to be in the mid-ground, not in the background. Right out of the forest. You have no idea where the hell the river is that feeds it. The only thing you know is it's somewhere. That is also another thing that's kind of cool about painting, drawing, whatever. Excuse me. You don't know where anything's coming from. So you don't want to spell everything out. Let the viewer decide for themselves. Okay, now we're going to take a quarter of our brush. Oh, let me get this off of there. Remember how we do that? Just go down, like that. And we're going to make our foliage impressions, shapes, whatever. Bushes, trees, whatever. At this point in time, it doesn't really matter. Right now, I'm just having fun. I had a great weekend with my wife. Went to my second cousin. My cousin Charlie, his daughter Ashley graduated 8th grade. Every time I look at some of those kids, I start feeling old. I remember Charlie is like 2 years younger than me, so I remember when him and I used to go out and stuff, and him and his wife weren't even, hell, they didn't even meet yet. And he's got a son that's in college, and his daughter is going to be in high school. It's like, damn. I don't usually feel old until I see the kids. Then I feel old. Okay. That's it. Now, there is something that is actually going to be really cool. And you've seen it before, but I've never used close to just black. And just so you know that I wasn't lying to you, I'm going to show you. See, I was using the blue right there. In all fairness, I just used a little bit more black. It's just what I took. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, wipe off the brush. I am not going to clean the brush. And it's not because I'm a slob, although some people may say I am, but I'm not. I just like colors to blend together. And we're gonna do a sky now, and we're gonna get a lot of black in here anyway. So it's gonna give it it's gonna give the sky a mood. And I'm gonna have to find some light blue and stuff to put in some areas so it's not just black and white. Although there is nothing wrong with black and white. I mentioned Ansel Adams. I'm actually, even though I love color, I am a fan of a lot of his work. He told a lot of stories with black and white. Even though color was available, he did a nice job with, he did an excellent job with what his preferred medium was. Ooh, there's some good stuff I'm liking here. Like coming down like this. One of the things I'm trying to convey to anybody that's watching, and I have had some extra views lately, so thank you. Had a few extra subscribers, thank you. No comments, so I'm not going to say thank you. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. I can't learn and get better if you don't tell me, hey, John, shut the hell up and do something else, or hey John, I don't like your voice. Use music. Or hey John, you're the best artist I ever saw in my life. Okay, maybe not that one. Okay. That in there. Okay. So now, once again, I'm gonna wipe off the brush, get all that. Now, I'm not gonna put the blue in yet, only because I wanna see where I'm at. Okay, light and dark, that type of thing. So I wanna get an idea where I'm at. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend this out, because obviously right now you see brush strokes everywhere. You got sky strokes coming up and down like this. You got some, I'm gonna smooth it out. Same brush. Took off all the heavy stuff. Now I just left it with, stains and stuff. Nice and light. Remember, touch is everything. Sometimes you want a firm touch, sometimes you want a light touch. In this case, you want a light touch. Now that we got basic stuff down, now you're gonna go a little heavier. Still not a hard touch, so you just want it, I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10, you want it at a 4 right now for pressure. And you'll learn that as you do it. The more you do it, it's like anything else, the more you do it, the better you'll get. What I'm trying to convey to you guys, and the reason I say guys is I looked like at my analytics, and 87% of the people that watch my videos are guys. So the few ladies that are watching, I apologize, ladies, I'm not trying to insult you, but for some reason my videos don't appeal to women and they appeal to men. I have no idea why, but I'm 58 years old and then barely able to figure out why the internet does what it does. So, guys, and you gals, I love you gals. Okay, what I'm trying to show you is get rid of the myth that oil painting is difficult. Oil painting takes 50 years to get good at it. Oil painting is dangerous. All that stuff is, depending on how you want to paint, depending on what your goals are, most of that is horseshit. Okay, it's just total horseshit. So, I've been painting for over 20 years. Oil painting probably 12-ish. And I learned the hard way. As I was learning, I didn't have as much YouTube access. They didn't have as much on there as they do over the last 5 years, maybe 6 years. And it just wasn't readily available, hard to find places to learn, whatever. So you did a lot of hit and miss. Now there's an abundance of stuff online, most of which is very good. So, oil painting is very basic. And it's no different than anything else that's a visual art, whether it's colored pencil, watercolor, acrylic, it's the same thing. You're putting, let's just assume we're not doing black and white, you're putting color on something, whether it's paper, canvas, wood, whatever. And you want to depict something, whether it's a portrait of a pet, a person, a river, doesn't matter. And you want to put the stuff on in a way that's appealing. Okay, so what do you need? You just need your imagination. You need to have fun and be loose, and you need to just do it. And I swear to you, that's what it takes. Yes, you need a little bit of color theory. Yes, you need a little bit of perspective, but all that stuff you can learn in a day, 2 days tops. Binge watch YouTube for painting perspective and, beginning color mixing, and you'll be a pro in, 2 freaking days. It doesn't have to be complicated. There are some people that do hyperrealism that it does get complicated. You want to get like Rembrandt, or you want to get like Raphael Sanzio or Michelangelo? Okay, now we're talking complicated. But if you want to just grab your paints and something, sit at your kitchen table when you're bored, listen to your favorite music, and knock out a painting in an hour and a half, 2 hours that actually looks like something, keep following me, because that's what we're going to do. We are going to learn how to have fun and paint. Look at this. I ain't even touching that damn sky. I was going to put blue in it. I love that gray. I love it. Once I put the green for this stuff in, that's going to look beautiful. So the only thing I'm going to do is just tap in more shapes. People, if you're watching me, it's not that difficult. But we as humans make stuff difficult. A lot more so than we need to. Now, I'm going to show you something here that you're going to love. Just to give you an idea, okay? Just to give you an idea what I'm talking about as far as easy, okay? And you may be looking at it now. A couple of you guys, I'm sure, a couple of you guys are looking going, holy crap, look at what he's doing right now. And it's not what some may think. It's not. We have a new way of doing stuff. Now, doing the same stuff we were doing. However, remember when I told you about perspective? Okay, we're going to show you the other part of perspective. It's called depth in your painting. You know how you get depth in your painting? You have more than one layer. You know how you have more than one layer? You do what I just did. Oh, look at this. Look real close. And no, Bob Ross doesn't paint like this. I don't use the Bob Ross method. I love Bob Ross, God rest his soul. He actually inspired me like he did probably tens of thousands of people. But I do not paint like him. I don't like the liquid white and all that other stuff. I like the way I do it. Okay, so what am I talking about? So, remember, here's our forest. Look at here. Okay, the waterfall's right there. Okay. A little bit of light on there. Okay, so now you can see it. Okay, so there's the waterfall. Here and here is the darkest. Then here we've got a value lighter. Here we got a value lighter than that. Here we got a value lighter than that. I'm just tapping in this stuff. Now you see it? I just put a little bit of paint on the brush. Now you see those background trees? Everything is in layers. All I did was throw the shit on with the medium. I did a few of these things, okay? Pretending I got Jimmy Buffett going to my ears. So I got the rhythm right, the beat right. And there it is. It isn't difficult, guys. You just got to have fun, and you can't be too hard on yourselves in the beginning, because it's not going to look good the first couple times you do it. But the more you do it, the better it's going to look. And that's just because you're more comfortable. That's it. I'm not even putting clouds in this one. The way that sky is and the way that, I'm leaving it just like it is as far as the sky, okay? So, what are we going to do? Let's just make it so everybody can see it. Uh-oh, my palette. Let's just put the water in. Nope, that's it. No more. And that's not going to stay. This might be my first ever black and white painting. And the beauty of it is with my system, I don't know as I'm going, and I don't care. The only thing I know for sure is it's going to be a landscape, and it's going to have water. Other than that, I don't know what's going on when I'm doing these videos with you guys. Rarely do I have a preconceived notion about something. Not never, but rarely. Actually, I'm going to put some more medium on this so it'll spread better. I can't believe I'm doing a black and white here at the moment. I don't think I've ever done a black and white in my life. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. When I was a freshman in college, I did a black and white of a football field. I'll never forget this as long as I live. It was so damn ugly. And David Chu, he's our instructor. God, this was years ago. I still laugh about it when I think about it. He wanted us to do a 4-value study of whatever the hell we wanted to. I picked a football field. I'm big into football, college and pro. So we're doing the value study, but we can only do black and white. So you can make as many values as you want with black and white. You start with pure white and go to black by adding a little black as you go, or start with black and keep adding white. And there you go. There's your value study. So, because I was so good at it, when I was doing it about halfway in, he comes up to me and says, "Hey, you better be careful. You're starting to drown out your lights." And I'm like, I got this. I'm wondering what the hell I'm paying all this credit hours for, because this is simple. So, half hour later, we get done with it. He comes by, doesn't say a word. I look at him and I said, "Yeah, I know." The whole thing was black. I had no value whatsoever. It was just dark black. I kept trying to compensate, overcompensate, compensate, overcompensate. Before I knew it, the whole thing looked like that. It was just black. Needless to say, I learned a valuable lesson. If you're going to go to a class and learn from somebody, do what they say. The reason you're there is because they know a lot more than you do. And there you go. Okay, so that's it for that. Now what I'm going to do, I hope that story amused you, because it still amuses me once in a while. I saw him, Mr. Chu, about, I don't know, 4 years after that class. I was already out of the school. I forget where the hell I saw him. First thing he does when he sees me, hey, how's it going? What's going on? You still doing your art? Boy, you still did a bang up job on that first assignment I gave you. And when he does see me, he can't help but rub it in, which is cool. I deserved it. Plus, he was a cool guy. Is a cool guy. He liked having fun with his students, and he's teaching art. How do you not have fun teaching art? Okay, so we're going to do something that most people strive for really quick. I usually don't, but a lot of people want to just get rid of the white of the canvas. Some go to the extreme. Actually, I shouldn't call it the extreme. A lot of people do it, where they tone the canvas. And they'll put a really light mixture of something, usually like a burnt sienna or yellow ochre, something like that. And just get rid of it, and then they see their values better and things like that. Again, we are looking at fun. We're looking at relatively quick. We're looking at having a good time. We're not looking at being Michelangelo. If you want to be, Renoir and those kinds of guys, you can get a few basics from me, but there's a lot of other artists on YouTube that are much more in depth to that type of art than I am. I am into the, hey, let's throw some shit up there and see what we can do. And I love it. And the thing of it is, too, a lot of my customers love it. I am not selling enough to quit my job, but people do respond to my art. And that, oh my goodness. When I get people stopping in my booth at shows and stuff, and they just stare and they can tell me what I was thinking by the way something looks, I tell you what, there's no other feeling like that. The first time that happened was incredible, and that was many years ago. And the last time it happened, it was just as incredible. I love it. Okay, so we have almost a pure black and white painting here, except for that brown in the foreground grass area, which will be grass. Flowers, something, I have no idea. Okay, so what the hell are we going to do now? I'm not going to make a lot of branches and trees, trunks and stuff like that. This is going to be a dense forest. So I'm going to go real light with the green here with this brush. And I'm going to beat it into there to where it's going to be faint but green. So we'll take this light green. And I don't want a ton on here. And I want it to blend. So I'm going a little harder with my touch. I want it to blend with the black and white behind it. I just want a little bit of faint green, okay? So let me give you a little perspective lesson. And this is going to help you with any kind of a landscape. The further away it is, the more dull the color is, okay? We'll use layman's terms for everything. The color isn't bright, it's not vibrant, it's dull. See how dull this is? The closer it is to you, the more vibrant it is. The closer to you, there's more detail. Right now, there's no detail. You just have the impression of distant foliage. I'm going to go all the way up a little bit. I don't want anything. I don't want a straight line. Okay, and I'm just taking very little paint, as you saw. I'm just putting it on there pretty hard. Okay, that'll work. Because now the green that's going to go around it, it's going to be a lot more, it's going to be a layer closer to us. So that layer is going to be much darker, a lot more vivid, and you're going to see a little bit more. But it's still not going to be as dark as some of this. So we're going to go with like 3 values of green. So, and the last value is going to be put on with a different brush because I'm going to use the texture to put it on. Let's see how this is. There we go. Now this is, as you can see, a couple of values darker. And you can also see I'm overlapping and going into the other one. And the reason I'm doing that is it's got to look like it's all part of the same forest. So when you overlap like this, it's really going to look much better. So overlapping is also another form of perspective. You can do perspective by duller colors in the back. You can have a perspective by the detail, less detail. You can have it by overlapping, just like we're doing right here. There's a lot of ways to achieve it. None of them are difficult. You just got to get the hang of them. So basically for this, the lesson is we're going to go darker as we come forward. Uh-oh, almost fell. That would be bad. Wouldn't be the first time I've had an oil painting fall off an easel for me. I don't like using these to secure because I like, I don't know, manipulating the canvas at times and stuff. And if I have to hold it steady, I'll hold it on the top. If I'm using wood that's an 1/8 inch panel, which is what I use in my studio, for my studio pieces, then it's Velcroed onto a big board, so it doesn't move anyway, so that works. Oh, another hair. Let's go on this side. But I hope you can see the way this is working out. Now, the other thing is too, even in here and in here, you can still see little patches of the black and white behind it, the dark, okay? And the reason I'm doing that is because you don't want to get rid of all your darks. You need dark to see light and vice versa. So you got to have that mixture in there. Okay. I think that's good. You know something? I lied. It wasn't intentional, but I lied. I'm going to use this brush for my dark stuff now. And I'm not going to just use deciduous trees like I'm painting now. I'm also going to put a couple of like pine trees in there, I think, right in the middle to make sure that first layer is all the way back. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go with our Cad Yellow Light. I hope you can see. Let's see if we can see that. Oh yeah, it definitely shows up better. Now you see how dark we go. And I'm also not pounding it into the surface, so it's not as smooth. There's a lot of texture that I'm leaving up. As you can tell, I'm reloading my brush a lot more often than I was. And that's because I want to make sure you see the difference. And again, we're overlapping. And right now I'm just using straight yellow, okay? But because you got that dark background, it blends and he makes a beautiful green. That's color mixing 101. And you gotta, it looks like I'm putting these on randomly, but I'm not. You notice how, let me see if we can get another brush here. Okay, so I've got the lightest light here and here, almost like a mist. I'm leaving that there. It looks kind of cool. It's not everywhere, just in a few areas. And then you got this green, then you got this green, then you got this yellow green that's right in your face. When you see stuff like this, leave it. It gives a little bit more character, a little more dimension, a little more interest in your work. And a lot of times, those things can't be planned. They just happen. And that's part of the beauty of painting, especially oil painting. Colors and oils. I mean, there's some people that I know, friends and stuff, that do acrylics, and they're really good. But I never could get that feel and that look like I can in oils. And once I went to oils and kind of figured out what I was doing, I've never gone back. And I don't think I will. I don't use acrylics at all. I do play with watercolors here and there because it's a fun medium to sketch and kind of try out ideas and things like that. But, okay. I'm going to do a little bit more in here because that's just too segregated. This looks like there's too much of a, I don't know how to explain it, but it was too much of a start and stop. And I don't like that. Now I'm going to add some green to this so it's not just yellow. Actually, I'm going to add some blue to it to make the green. I told you I don't have a dark yellow, a dark green rather. Now it's over here, it's so different that I'm just going to leave that alone. But here it just didn't look right. So what I did, you can still see in the back. And that's all you need. You need to be able to see the difference. Yeah, that's better. I mean, it still looks ugly, what I just put in, because it's all yellow. As soon as I hit it with the blue, it's going to go to green, and it's going to look really good. But I got to wipe off the brush, because I got a lot of thick paint on the brush. Got to wipe that off so the blue actually blends the way it's supposed to. So, watch the magic. Just putting it in. Nice and thick to start with. Uh-oh, some of it's giving it away. There we go. Okay, so wipe off the brush. Now, I don't know how long, I haven't looked at the timer, but how long are we in? 32 minutes in, and I have yet to clean my brush. I've wiped it many times, I haven't cleaned it yet. Okay, so I've got that just blotched on. It looks stupid, right? I just wanted the blue on there. Now I'm going to take the brush lightly, not heavy, you know, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10 for pressure, maybe a 3 to blend it into that yellow. See how that looks? Going a little bit side to side. See how we got the green coming out now? And this I kind of like, I'm going to leave that. And now I'm just going to kind of put them together. Okay, so let's go right back to the way we did it before. Use my big filler brush here as a pointer. Okay, so I've got 1 tube green on my palette. That's it. Okay, let's count the greens. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, we've got 4, we've got 5, we've got 6. I'll go with 6. We could technically go with a 7 right here. I'll just stay modest with a 6. So 1 tube green, cad yellow light, and French ultramarine, and we've got 6 different types of green. That, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the beautiful things about oil painting. And that actually would be the same with watercolor, acrylics, any kind of paint. Get that a little more spread out. You don't need a ton of tube colors. I normally have 6 tube colors, maybe 7. Don't use them at every painting, plus white. You don't, I mean, what is it? Old Holland. Company's been making paint since like 1620. No shit. You know, 1607 was the first permanent English settlement in America. Okay, technically that's when America was. That was with Captain John Smith, Pocahontas, all that, cool little stories and stuff. So that technically, historically, was when America was founded, 1607. Old Holland's been making oil paint. 13 years later, they started making oil paints, for crying out loud. They're beautiful, okay? They're expensive as all get out, but they're beautiful. I don't use them because they're ridiculously expensive. However, my point to saying this, I believe they have over 100 tube colors. 90 something for sure, but I think it's like 116 or somewhere right around there. My point to you is you don't need to spend a fortune to get good oil paints. The studio paints that I use, okay, and I play with water mixables. When I do my videos, I do a lot of different oil paints so everybody can see different stuff. But my studio work, this main stuff that I use, okay, is under $10 a tube for the 37 ml tubes, okay? And it's artist quality, light fast, permanent, beautiful paint. So you don't have to spend $43 for a 37 ml tube of paint is my point, especially when you're starting out. So you don't go student grade unless it's a certain student grade. And I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I'll just go with it. Georgian Oils is my favorite student grade oil paint. And if you want, I can do a video on them because I've got a bunch of tubes of that. They're my favorite. They're light fast, they're permanent, they're economical as all get out. They've been around, I don't even know how long, but the 1700s, 1780, I want to say, is when they started making paint. So they've been around a while. In my opinion, they're the best student grade out there. And 37 ml tube or 40, I forget which it is for them. It's only a few dollars. It's even less than the paint I use. So if you want to go student grade, go with Georgian oil colors. Not the water mixable Georgians, or there's the regular Georgian oil colors. And once you go with those, you can do a lot of really beautiful stuff. You don't need to spend an arm and a leg. The other thing is, too, the canvas. Go to Blick and get their discount canvas packs. Don't go to Hobby Lobby and get them, or Michael's. Go to Blick. It's a little bit better canvas. This thing is $3 for the 16 by 20. The brush is a Hobby Lobby special. Not a Hobby Lobby, a Blick special. It's a 1.5 inch gesso brush. If you buy 5 at a time, this thing is like $5.20 a piece. And you see the way I'm rough with the brushes. So buying 5 at a time for me is good because I run out of them. So now you have paint, canvas, brush, and none of it's that expensive. Okay, so that takes away that one, misnomer that oil painting is so expensive. It's not. It's not. It's a bunch of shit. And you can get the really good stuff for a very economical price that's not going to break anybody's budget, and you can have a blast, just like I'm doing here. And if you have noticed, so far that's the only brush I've used. Should we do that for the whole painting and see how that looks? Nah. We'll do some other stuff. We'll use some other. So now that I'm off my soapbox, we'll get back to painting. And I'm getting the water and the land to meet. So I'm about ready to put in the whites of the water. A little brown in here. This water is intriguing me because of the sky color. So I'm going in a little bit darker. It's got a little bit green in it, okay? Because that's what we've been doing with this brush, and I haven't cleaned the brush. And I'm doing that intentionally. When you look at water on a day where the sun isn't beaten down, overcast is a real good way to see it sometimes. You're gonna see different colors of water depending on the depth of the water, assuming it's in a place where it's not polluted. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get the illusion of here in some areas. It's going darker. And I don't know. Like most of my paintings, it's kind of evolving as it's going. And I really like that. What I might do... Damn it, I may leave that. I don't know. I'm going to get a little bit more green on my brush. I'm going to get a little bit more green in the water. because there is so much green around it. And I mean, you see all the green. And water does reflect its surroundings, reflects the sky, land. So it's going to have all these colors in it. So stands to reason it's going to have a similar look and feel to what it does. Yeah, I'm going to work on this land for a while. I'm not sure what the hell I'm going to do. I've got a million ideas in my head that I like, and I'm not 100% sure what the heck I want to do. Okay, I'm going straight into Cad Yellow Light. And I'm blending the crap out of it into that burnt sienna. So it's going to be like a burnt grass, but I'm going to have a little bit more nice, pretty green in it for strands of grass coming up, you know, wavy grasses like that. This is just going to be our kind of just base color, okay? Man, I'm not going to do a lot with that water. I know it. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but every once in a while, I get like this. And it helps when you don't know what the hell you're doing. You know, you don't have a plan. And it's funny too, because there's so many people on YouTube and everywhere that say when you're painting, you gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan. If you don't know where you're going, how are you gonna get there? I'll tell you what. I mean, don't disrespect, and those people have some beautiful art, but I love being clueless about where I'm going and just following the paint, letting the painting paint itself, letting what I call my inner artist just take over. Me, I'm gonna have a glass of lemonade, kick my feet up, and I'll just control the brush and put it wherever it wants me to. I just love that kind of creativity. And to me, that is the essence of creativity. Just let it go. I don't need a plan. I don't need a thumbnail. I just need to have fun and let the painting kind of do its own thing. And like I said, I mean, no disrespect to the people that don't do that, but oh, I love that. Now I'm just putting a little bit more of that yellow into the water. Why? Because it's there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I hope I don't mess it up. I hope I don't mess it up, people. But I do need a little bit of reflection because this isn't that fast moving water. You got the waterfall, so this over here is going to be a little faster. Over here is not. So I'm just going to put a little bit of reflection in here to give this a little bit of color. Coming straight down. And then as that gets fainter down here. And then I'm going to take a little bit more. It's not the same color, but it's going to be a little bit. I'm going to drag a little bit of this shoreline in here. I'm also going to do the same over here. The trick is you want to go straight down. Okay. And this, I'll grab a little bit right there, make it even. But I still got to put land in over there. I want to blend this to where those harsh lines aren't there. There we go. Real lightly. Gotta be straight. me see how that looks. Yep, I can deal with that. Come down just a little bit more here. Didn't look quite right. Wipe off my brush here so when I blend this out a little bit, it's not going to have too much color. And that, for you that haven't followed me, if you're new to my channel, that's my wife's bird, Raphael, Quaker parrot. There we go. Okay. Boy. You know, it's funny too. I did have a plan for painting the video today, believe it or not. So I lied to you, unintentionally, so I apologize. I wasn't going to do a full painting. I had a 9x12 that was already mounted a panel. And look, just so you know I'm not lying. I had a 9x12 mounted already. And what I was going to do was some elements. I've never done an element painting before, so I was going to do like a bunch of trees or maybe a couple of different ways to do water, a mountain, something like that. Just some elements. And for whatever reason, at the very end, I just picked up the 16x20 and then I'm like, you know something? Why not? Let's just do a regular painting. And I had nothing against doing a regular, that's fine. I love painting. But I wanted to do some element work. Maybe some people would like to see how an individual element is, and then maybe do an element series, and that kind of shows how we put everything together. So that was my brilliant plan that lasted for about 8 seconds because I never even put the first brush stroke down. Okay, let's put a little bit of action here. We're not going to put a lot. Because I want to make sure we don't get rid of these nice reflections. So we're going to put water lines in certain areas. And then from there, bring it up. Damn, that wind is still howling out there. They call Chicago the Windy City. They're not kidding. We're still 30 miles from Chicago city limits. Now I'll put a couple of these just here and there over here. We're going to blend these out. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know how I do that. But I want to get, I like, with reflections or not, unless it's a glass body of water, which I rarely ever do actually. I like having a little bit of stuff in there. Okay. Now while you weren't looking, I actually went behind your back and cleaned my brush. Technically though, this is only the second brush I've used in this whole painting, and you've seen it's most of the way done. But now our 1.5 that we're going to use again is clean. Now, the stuff I use doesn't dry really quickly. It doesn't evaporate real quick like odorless mineral spirits, turpentines, and all that other stuff. I told you I use what's called Bristle Magic. You can get it online from Blick or Jerry's, and I'm sure Cheap Joe's has it also. It's non-toxic, non-flammable, no carcinogens, no bad smells, nothing like that. It's also a brush conditioner. It cleans the brushes very well. It also conditions brushes, which is why it stays moist for a long time. So I need to use the brush again, but it's got stuff on it that not only conditions the brushes, but breaks down the paint. So if I use it like that, it'll break down the paint I have. So I use my towel, but that doesn't get it all off. If I can use the brush again, I'll take it and I'll squeeze the bristles real hard to get any excess moisture out into the paper towel. And you can see how it got so much more out. See? Not as much, but still there. And then I can feel it, and it's barely damp, so now it'll work. I'm gonna go light pressure anyhow, but So remember, just like when I do clouds, I don't want to blend it in with the water below it. I want to diffuse it and move it around. I want it to show a little bit of movement, but nothing major. So I'm using a very light touch. Very light on the shoreline to get that straight. There we go. Now I intentionally wanted to leave this rough because that's where the waterfall is. Okay. So now what I need to do is take a little bit of green and stuff and just cut that thing off. There we go. I don't want to see anything behind it. Get a little bit of thicker paint right here. There we go, now it looks better. Okay, so we got that done. Excuse me, so now what I'm gonna do, a little bit of burnt sienna and white. Put a couple of different color bushes right here. Just going right up in. There we go. Maybe just a couple right here. Gotta look for your places. And this is where you kind of just go by feelings. Does it feel right? Does it look right? Then it must be right. Okay. Holy cow, I'm out of paper towels. If I haven't told you before, you go through a ton of paper towels. Okay. There we go. I'll wipe off the brush, not going to clean it again. Well, I will at the end when I'm done with the painting. And the video is off, and you guys are hopefully enjoying the hell out of it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my ivory black and my French ultramarine, same color as I started with, just putting up here. These are the things growing into the water. My reeds and flowers will be here and all this other stuff. That's my base. I don't want to go too tall here because I want to show the water still. Here I can go a little taller. And over here, not so much. I want to make sure people can see where the water starts and stops and stuff. Now, what I'm going to do, and I don't normally do this, once in a while I guess, put a little bit underneath. Again, this is that illusion of where the hell is this water going now if this is here? Because obviously this depicts land. So does this mean it's a river going this way now? Don't know. Make sure to draw that, you have all these questions that your viewers can ponder and wonder what's going on while they look at your painting in amazement and say, oh my goodness, that is a beautiful piece of art. And trust me, if you practice, eventually people will tell you that. The whole trick is with anything. The more you do it, the better off, the better you get. That's just the way humans are made. The more we do something, the better we get. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. More gentlemen than ladies, apparently. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean my brush. I'm actually going to use brush cleaner. The second time in the whole 16 by 20. Can you believe it? Holy cowabunga. Yes, I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You got a problem with that? They're awesome. Especially like Donatello. Although Raphael is my favorite artist. Okay, so I'm going to take a pinkish color that I don't even know what the hell it is. And I'm going to put a few. I'm barely touching it. I want it to be thick. So you don't put a lot of pressure. I'm going to have CAD red light on it in a minute. And I'll put a couple here and there. Just so there's something somewhere else in the painting. We had so much grayish in here that I want to give it a little color at the end. And I like wildflowers anyway, they're gorgeous. Of these over here. This CAD red, as you can tell, is a very dominant color, so you won't want to go nuts with it. Red's a foreground color too. That's why when I put it in the back, I put very limited amount, because it is a very powerful color. Okay, now I'm going to do something that I absolutely love. And I first started loving them because of the Morton Arboretum in Lisle, Illinois. And I've told this story before, so I'm going to tell you again. If you heard it before, tough. I enjoy it. It's actually kind of a silly, stupid story, but it's fun. My wife and I went to the Morton Arboretum a few years back. We're members there, have been for a long time. And I saw these blue, whatever the hell they were, coming out of the ground that I'd never seen before. Found out they're blue bells or blue bonnets, I don't even remember. Ever since I saw them, I had to paint them. They have this blue color that I just absolutely love. It goes deeper than this too. And that's it. That was the end of the story. It's a nice, easy one that time. And then I'll put some of this back here. See, I'm tapping it very lightly, so it's not blending with underneath. It just staying on top. If you went too hard, it would blend and make different colors, and now it's not. And that's what you want. You don't want it to make different colors. Sometimes you do, but in this case we don't. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, which will be the last thing, is take our fan brush and clean everything up. But for the hell of it, I'm going to wash that brush. So basically, today we used a 1-inch brush, a 1.5-inch brush, and a fan brush, and that's all we used. 4 brushes to complete this beautiful 16 by 20 landscape that started out a little odd, kept getting odder, and for whatever reason, works really well. Okay, now what I'm doing is, you see the little things that's coming down? I'm just putting in land to do what I call grounding them, so they don't look like they're ready to take off and go into outer space. Just want to get rid of that bottom part, so it looks like it's part of the ground. That's all. There we go. There we go. Okay, now the same thing over here. There we go. Take some yellow. Yellow's such a beautiful color. Wherever I see it a little dull, I'm just putting in a little bit of yellow. Okay. That, my friends, is it. Hope you enjoyed this painting. I know it looks a little more complicated than it actually is. You saw the way I did it. Anybody can do this. So I want to hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend and a great work week. Be safe, and I'll see you next week.